my name is Oliver Carew, and I am the founder of a company called LTAB, which is based in London, and it's essentially a hospitality tech app where we drive footfall to various different pubs and bars in London, and also provide adventurous Londoners with cheaper drinks. The product itself is essentially a consumer app. We charge a subscription fee to our members. They pay £12.99 a month. And in return for that, they get a push notification on their phone every single night, which tells them to go into the app. And that tells them the location of a bar tab that we've put behind a specific bar in London for that evening. The bars change every single night, so the members don't know where the tab is going to be for that night. And the tabs range from £750 to £1,000 a night. And then if the members choose to go there, they can redeem up to 4 free drinks through the app every single night if they want to. So that's the app and the idea in a nutshell. And I'm not a tech founder, so I'm an ideas man. So I needed a tech partner to help me develop and produce the app and release it. I have a background in advertising and design, so all of the screens were kind of done to an extent and the wireframes, but I needed that assistance from Cleveroad to help bring that to life and put the product actually into people's hands. And I had worked with Cleveroad on that one. So that was a big factor for me. We'd gone through the process in that old app of making a lot of mistakes with CTOs and individuals and UK-based companies, and none of them had really kind of delivered on a number of in a number of areas. I think my co-founder at the time, she came across Cleveroad. We looked into you guys and saw the services that you could provide, and you delivered on what we needed for that app. So for this new app and the new idea I had, you were my kind of go-to selection. So initiated discussions. As a bootstrapped founder, I haven't raised any outside investment. So budget is obviously a really important factor for me when deciding who to go with, but also a trusted partner. And I know that I'd worked with you guys beforehand, and you delivered and were fantastic at what I needed. So those were 2 of the key elements. You also came back to me with a suggestion of how we should produce this app using Flutter, which I know at the time was quite an early sort of language to write in. But I like the fact that you were sort of forthcoming with those sorts of ideas and seemed to really support the whole process. So yeah, they were the main sort of reasons. So yeah, this is going back a little way now because the app was released in September 2021, but we actually started development on it a year beforehand, and that wasn't because it took ages to develop and release. It was actually because of COVID and the lockdown. So I'm going back nearly a couple of years here, but from what I can recall, the majority of the kind of upfront stuff was pretty much done in terms of the design and the wireframes, in terms of the logical order of what screens needed to go where and what they looked like. What I did was worked with you guys to bring that to life. I think we split it into, it was 2 or 3 sprints in order to get it all done over a course of 2 or 3 months. And then once it was produced and released, I kind of had to sit on my hands and wait until COVID passed and lockdown ended, so I could actually release the app. And since release, Cleveroad have been sort of ongoing bug fixing and new feature partner. So if there's anything that kind of goes wrong, I've always got somebody to turn to and ask a question, which is absolutely fantastic for me, especially given that the app works from 6 p.m. at night. So it's the timeframes are a little bit weird. They're not during normal office hours, but I always feel as if I can kind of contact somebody to go, okay, this is not right, which doesn't actually happen, but and yeah, there's just general support there for any new features that I want to bring in. In terms of the team and the development, I don't know the exact numbers, but we kind of had a full cycle team on it. So we had a project manager who I could always speak to, a number of developers working on the Flutter aspect of it. The QA obviously was an important aspect to make sure it's all quality assured for release. So there was from my perspective, I felt like there was a decent team on board. There has been certainly continuity in that team, which has been fantastic. So when I decide to bring on or do a new feature, the team is generally the same as it has been before. So the knowledge and the background knowledge is there, which is fantastic. And we tend to use Skype to communicate, which is absolutely fantastic. So I can do that on the move, ask any questions, and I kind of feel as if the team are there 24/7 on hand to answer any questions I have, which has been fantastic. In terms of delivering on what I had expected, the app has been really well received. It's really well built, as far as I can tell, but not just me, from a consumer and a member perspective, who people are using the app, they absolutely love it. So it feels as if it's been built in a really great way. We've managed to sort of keep just about within budget, which has been great, and my overall experience has been incredibly positive. So I would certainly give Cleveroad 9 out of 10, but I'm not sure why I wouldn't give them 10, to be honest. So yeah, it's been great. The communication in general is spot on. It's 10 out of 10. It's been the most important thing for me to feel as if I have some support there on an ongoing basis, because as a solo founder with no real tech expertise, I don't have a team that I can come into the office and go, this has gone wrong, or I'd like to do this, or I have a question about this. And working with somebody or a team in a different country with time difference certainly was a concern for me up front. It's not an insignificant time difference, but honestly, it's almost been like having an in-house team here working with me in an office. And long may that continue, because it's a really important factor for me moving forward with this app as it grows. I can name an individual who I think who's been the most impressive, and that's Vlad, to be perfectly honest with you, because there have been a few changes in project managers over the couple of years that I've worked with you guys, and they've all been fantastic. And there's always a concern that the next person isn't going to be quite as good as the previous. But when Vlad came on board, he's just been absolutely fantastic, if I'm honest with you. And the relationship that we have built over the past year or so, I feel has certainly been more than just a business relationship. And he seems to completely understand the app and my requirements from a personal and a business perspective. So to me, he kind of, in addition to all of the things I've discussed, which are all positive, he really sets my business relationship with Cleveroad apart. The partnership will hopefully continue. It's all going to depend on whether I can make the app work here and scale it. So things are going really positively at the moment. We're at nearly 600 paid members. But at the moment, we've only got one tab live and every night. I want to scale into 2-bar tabs and 3-bar tabs in London every single night and grow the membership base as well. As long as I can continue to do that without going bankrupt, I'm certainly very excited to work together on building the app out in order to cope with those additional features. And hopefully down the line, I'll bring in some aspect of being able to partner with drinks brands. And I see that as a big sort of way to potentially monetize the app. And there'll certainly be things to do with Cleveroad moving forward. So there's two elements of it. There's an ongoing sort of bug fixing element, and then there's very much we need to spend a bit of money and do a sprint producing X feature or whatever it might be. But from my perspective, as long as the app and business are progressing in the right direction, hopefully we can work together.